Okay, hi everyone. So this is my last video, but don't worry, it's not a bad thing. It's because the center is open. So come and hang out with us at the center. I would love to see you. So for today's resource, I have a link in the description for Spoonflower. Now this website is super cool. So you can find some really cool fabric on there, made by other artists, and you can also make your own fabric on there. So that you just have to pull in your image, and then you choose how you want your image to repeat on your fabric, and then check it out, look at it. But you can go ahead and buy some fabric from there to complete this, or you can use some fabric from home for our prompt today. But if you don't want to buy a yard of fabric, a fat quarter is enough, and it's very cheap. If you've ever seen the fat quarters that are for sale at Walmart, they're a little over $1. Really cheap, real cute, and you can make a lot of things with them, actually. There's a lot of projects that are for specifically fat quarters, because it's actually a good amount of fabric and it's cheap. So you can actually do the prompt today with a fat quarter. And for my last video, I am doing prompt number 1, ironically, a piece of clothing, and I'm going to show you how to sew a mask today. I do think it's really handy to have an iron to complete this. So I do have an iron by me that's heating up right now. It's like necessary for this project. And then I also have 4 pins that I'm using to hold it all together while I'm sewing. But so you're gonna start out with fabric that is cut so that your length is 8.5 and your height is 7 inches. 'Cause yes, inches. And then you're also going to have 2 pieces of elastic. I believe they are cut to 8 inches, which is too big for my face, but it's big enough for my husband's face. So I'm going to show you how to make it tighter at the end, to actually fit your face if it doesn't. Another thing you could use, though, instead of elastic is a tie of some sort, whether that be a shoestring or whatever. You're going to sew it in here the same way. So I'm going to show you. I'm going to iron down my fabric real quick and make sure it's nice and flat for me, and that it'll look, because I have 2 pieces of fabric, because you need 2 pieces of fabric. And how you're going to lay them together is you're going to have the right facing side. So what I mean by right facing is the side that you want the world to see. The side that has your print on it. The side that has, I don't know, that you just want on the outside of your mask, That's going to be on the inside, because that's how sewing works. So I'll show you. But you're going to have it on the inside, and you're going to have them together and lined up as best as you can, and then iron it, and they kind of stick together better then. But all right, so what you're going to do is you're going to take, hang on, your elastic or your tie, and you're going to flip up one side, and you're going to have it go to each corner on that side. And this is your 7-inch side, not your 8.5. So yeah, I have it right there. I'm going to kind of hold it there while I flip my yellow fabric back on top of it, and then I'm just going to pin down my corners, making sure that I catch my elastic in each corner, because you just need to hold your elastic there. It's not going to stay there on its own that well. And then if you decide to use a tie instead of elastic, the thing is you just have to make sure that you keep, like, you have your corner and your corner in here, and the rest of it is in between your 2 pieces of fabric. So just make sure it's all bundled up in there so that you don't sew over it when you do sew around it. So I did that to one side, I got it pinned down, and I'm going to do it to the other side to get my elastic on both sides. Grab my pins. All right, and now I'm gonna kind of show you how to sew it. So I have it all pinned down. I'm gonna kind of pick this up a little bit again, and then I'm gonna move my sewing machine up here, and then I'll show you. Hopefully. So you're gonna sew all the way around, but you're gonna leave a gap on one of your 7-inch sides from like here to here. You're not gonna sew between those 2 points. You're gonna end right, like you're gonna start right here, go all the way around, and then you're gonna end right there. And you're gonna leave that gap open, and I'll show you why in a minute. So, move my sewing machine over here. And I'll sew it, and then I'll show you what it looks like after I have this part sewed. All right. And when you get down to your elastic, you're gonna wanna go over it a couple times just because then it holds it there better. But make sure you take your pins out when you do that part, because if your needle hits your pin, your needle is gonna break. It's just gonna snap. I've had that happen a couple times. Learned that lesson. Okay, I'm just gonna keep going all the way around now. Make sure your elastic doesn't get into any of the other parts that you're sewing, and that you're just sewing it into those corners. I'm doing this on my ironing board, and so the motion from my sewing machine is actually making it very bouncy, so it's actually kind of harder to sew it on my sewing machine, but I feel like it's the best way for me to show you. So I don't know. Hopefully it works out well. You can hear my sewing machine when it's hitting the elastic too. You can tell the difference. And you'll see that something similar when I do my pleats in it. Like, my sewing machine works really hard to get over those pleats. So I'm back at the side that I started on, so I'm gonna go down and then not complete it. So I'm gonna do my back stitching, leave a space, and then I'll show you. Okay. So this is what it looks like. See, I went all the way around, but I left, oops, wrong side. I left that space right there. That's because this is when you turn it the right side. So now I'm gonna shove all of my fabric and turn it the right way out through this hole, or I'm gonna try to. I'm gonna move my sewing machine because I'm gonna need to iron this. So let's see if I can manage to get this quicker than the previous video. Oh my gosh, it's real stuck. Sometimes it's hard to get it back out. So Oh, I got one side of my elastic out though. I just need to get the other. Oh, here we go. All right. All right. Okay, got it. So this is all my fabric is right facing now. It's all the right way. But now, because it's like kind of baggy and like my seams aren't all pressed down, I am going to iron it. Because that just, it makes it easier to work with. And to do your pleats, which is the next part. At this point, you do have an opening on one of your sides. And we'll remedy that soon, but this is the part right now where if you need to stick a filter of some sort in between your fabric, now is the time to do it. If you are going to put in a wire nose piece, now is the time to get it up and like where the top part of your nose would be. Get it in there, glue it in there. Now is the time. So, yeah. And things that you could use for a metal nose piece are like those little bread ties that have a wire running through them. But like, you're probably going to want to find ones that come on toys and like fasten them into the boxes. The ones that have like a flexible plastic around them are going to probably last a little bit longer than the ones with paper around them that come like on your bread bags. So yeah, can't think of the other name for those. I don't know. But yeah, so here it is. I flattened it out with my iron. Nice and flat. It's going to be a lot easier to work with that way. And now I'm going to make my pleats. So the iron is going to help out immensely with this. If I can get my camera at a good angle for you to see this. Okay, so I'm going to do my first top pleat, and you just kind of take it and fold it like that. So I'll show you the side so you can kind of see how it's folded. See? And then you're going to iron it, because that is like, it just holds it down better. If you don't iron it, even after you put your pins in it, it doesn't like stay flat. It doesn't stay flat for you. It doesn't make it easier to sew if you don't iron it. It only makes it harder to sew. So, yep, got it ironed. Stays nice and flat, and then I'm just gonna fasten it down with a pin to have it ready to sew. Ooh, my iron is warm. Getting my fingers nice and toasty. All right. So yeah, you just put your pin in like normal. Okay. And then I'm going to do one more pleat, because you want like an accordion fold kind of that happens. So I got my next one, see? And I'm going to iron that one down as well. Just be careful if you have the same kind of pins as I do, because your iron will melt the plastic heads of the pins. If you're using the right setting on your fabric, it will still melt it. So I'm ironing that one down. I gotta get this side. Did you see how it just popped back after I moved my iron? Yeah, it's this iron, like ironing it makes it so that it doesn't do that, and it actually just holds it down for you. Like, yes. Okay. I'm gonna pin those. And I just kind of eyeball that, because, you know, just get it pinned where you want it. You can pin it and then be like, oh no, I don't like how that looks anymore, and you can unpin it, re-iron it, and change it. You haven't sewn it yet, so you can change it. All right, so that's what it looks like. I have it upside down, sorry. That's what it looks like. All right, and now what you're going to do is you're just going to sew all the way along the outside, kind of making a visible seam. So here's one that I have already done. I'm going to show you So see, there's a visible seam. So that's what you're gonna do. So I'm gonna move my camera again, get my sewing machine up here. I shouldn't need my iron anymore, so I'm gonna turn that off. All right. And then we're gonna get it lined up. I'm starting in my corner just because it's gonna be easier to hide your back and forth area where you kind of knot your fabric, because that's how you start and end sewing. You do it back and forth a couple of times. All right. All right, and then when you get to your pleats, sometimes they get a little stuck in between your presser foot and the little foot at the bottom that grabs it and helps pulls it through. So if you sink your needle down in and then pick up your presser foot, sometimes it'll get stuck. So if you pick up your presser foot, it will help get it unstuck from that bottom plate that pulls your fabric through. Yeah. Ooh, okay, right now I was pressing the thing and it's not moving because my line is too tight. So I'm just gonna turn my sewing machine little wheel that's on the side here, and it loosens it up for me, and then I should be able to keep going. See, right now I'm actually, oh, really? Okay, this happened in the first video. My top thread broke. Well, that's lame. So hang on, I'm gonna stick a pin in this, and I'm gonna rethread my sewing machine real quick. This happened in my first video too. I don't understand. Why does it happen when I just start? Every time. Okay. Oh my gosh, am I all out of... My bobbin doesn't have thread on it. Are you kidding me right now? Oh, okay, instead of... This is going to be a long video, and instead of recording it again, I'm just going to do this all right now, because I'm sick of ending my recording and then doing it all over again. It's driving me nuts. So I'm just going to thread my bobbin real quick. Lame. Like, come on. Just trying to make this video. Nothing is going right for me. Oh my gosh, come on. Just go in there. Okay. Oh my God. Really? At this point, I feel like I'm gonna have to start the video over. It's gonna be so long. Things keep on going wrong. Okay, I'm gonna thread my bobbin real quick. Looks like a good amount. I can't believe that is all these things are going wrong. So silly. All right. Let's get this bobbin in here and try again. Locked in there, rethread my machine. If you do not know how to thread a sewing machine, you should learn. It's definitely a good skill to know how to use a sewing machine. Oh, come on. I almost lost it. I got it in there and then it almost fell out. Okay. All right. And now we're ready to rumble again. So I'm going to attempt to sew this again because this is so dumb. I can't believe it. All these things going wrong. And this video is going to be super long. Oh well, whatever. Go out with a bang on my last video, I guess. Alright, so now we're going to start sewing. And then, yep, go over your pleats. My sewing machine is going to work a little bit harder on these pleats because it's thicker. You can hear the difference. Remember to take out your pins as you're going over them because you don't actually want to hit your pins with your needle. That would be, it's bad. It's bad news bears because then you have to change your needle because your needle snaps. No fun. Okay, this one, my pleat is going up over my presser foot, so I'm going to pick up my presser foot after I stick my needle in and fix it so that it goes underneath it. With sewing, you just have to remember you can put your needle down and pick up your presser foot and move your fabric around if you need to. Like, nothing is set in stone, and even after you sew it, there's something called a seam ripper. And you can just rip it out and try again. It doesn't, like, nothing's set in stone. You could hear that one. My machine was working real hard on that pleat. Okay. Alright, we're done. Whew, for the most part. Okay, get rid of my extra threads on the side. There we go, we have it. It's done. So now you try it out. And I can tell already it's way too big. You can see there's like so much extra. It's just like hanging on my face. So I'm going to have it on. And I'm going to fold my elastic until I feel pressure on my ears so that it feels tight. And okay, so it feels like I don't have to fold over that much elastic in order to get it tight enough to be on my face. So I'm gonna take it off, and so it felt like I just needed a little bit. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fold my elastic over, and I'm just gonna sew over it a couple times, and it's going to make it tighter because it reduces the amount of elastic that has to go over your ear. With a tie, you wouldn't have to do this necessarily because you can just tie it as tight or as loose as you want. But, alright, so I'm going to do that. Alright, got that one. And then we'll do the other side. This is just how I make them tighter for myself. But normally I would leave it that size, like if I was making it for my husband or something like that, because he's got a bigger face and that one would fit, like that would fit him so much better than this. Alright. Alright. There we go. And now I'm going to try it on and see if I have to seam rip that out and fix it. So let's try it on. Oh, that actually feels perfect. I actually think I could go a little bit tighter with it. I don't think I'm going to though. Just for the sake of how long this video already is going to be. So that is how you sew a mask. All right, I think I'm gonna end the video there before I do something that makes me want to re-record it again. So, all right, I did it, finished it, we're all good. I can't reach my mouse pad to like turn off the video though. Okay, so hopefully I'll be seeing you in the center, and so yeah. Enjoy your day, be creative, go make a mask or something.